Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Car Spec Garage video. The question I have for you today is, should you wait to purchase a new Model 3 Highland? Let's get started. All right, guys, we're back. Got my cheat sheet. I've got about 6 items to go over about the new Model 3 Highland, and then we'll answer, or I'll give you my opinion on that question that I just asked. Should you wait to get the new Model 3 Highland? All right, so let's get started on what we know about the new Model 3 Highland. I've done some research. I've talked to a few people. Mainly, I've talked to my buddy Out of Spec Dave. I'm sure you guys have seen his channel. It's an incredible channel. I only hope one day I can be like him, right? Anyway, so Dave called me the other day. I think it was Saturday when he called me, this past Saturday, and we talked a little bit about what's next in the garage for our cars, right? So he's got the Model 3 rear-wheel drive. His wife has a Model Y, a white Model Y like mine I have here, and then that I'm sitting in, and then he's also got the Lucid Air. So I told him I was thinking more of a Model S, just because, I mean, I've had probably 4 or 5 Model S's since 2013, I guess, and a Model X, and now this Model Y. I haven't owned a Model 3, so I was thinking maybe the Model S. He was saying, no, your best bang for your buck is the new Model X, because it's got the federal tax rebate right now that the Model S doesn't, and money-wise, it becomes cheaper than the Model S, and you get a bigger platform, a bigger car itself. So, but then we started talking about the Model 3, and I kind of echoed, what he was thinking was, it's really a good car. It's going to be a good car, and maybe it is time to wait for that one before doing anything else. All right, so anyway, so we had a great conversation. Spent 30 or so minutes on the phone, and Dave's just an incredible guy. So it made me think, all right, let me start this video and ask that question to you. Should you wait for the new Model 3 Highland or not? Okay, so number one, let's talk about the car itself. Number one, enhanced battery life. Now, from what I've read, the battery's the same in the car, but with the redesign, it's going to be more efficient, which means further down the road, more miles. Now, they're saying that the rear-wheel drive Model 3 will boast around 344 miles of range. That's the claim, and that's going to be on the 18-inch wheels. The long range increases to 421 miles. I mean, now that's coming from the European WLTP testing standards. That's not the EPA numbers, so that's going to vary. I think the WLTP is a little, the range seems to be a little bit further than what the EPA is going to state on the car, but we'll sit and see. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm assuming those numbers, the Model 3 being 300, the rear-wheel drive is going to be 344, and the long range is 421. I think it's going to be close to that, 5 or 10% difference. Who knows? So we'll just wait and see. But I am curious. My gosh, if you could get a 421 mile Model 3, does that at that point make the Model S obsolete? That's a question, right? I mean, does it? Or do you want a bigger car than the Model 3, or is the Model 3 the perfect car? I happen to think the Model 3 is the perfect daily driver, will really trip anything. I think it's the perfect car, period. I know Dave's son Kyle and Out of Spec Reviews and the other channels he has, he was saying in Colorado he could get a Model 3 today with the tax incentives, both from federal and from his state in Colorado and get it down to like 23,000, 25,000, give or take. I can't remember what he said. That's incredible, right? Then that car becomes better than, gosh, most anything out there. Honda Civic, what I mean, name it, and it's going to be a better car to buy. Plus, charging at home, and you'll be perfectly fine. If you never go on a trip, charge at home, you'll never see a gas station ever again in your life. All right. The big piece, right, is the design of the Model 3 Highland, right? So the front is different, the rear is different. New headlights, fog lights are gone. They're integrated into the headlights. The rear tail lights now wrap around instead of breaking up. So when it opens the trunk, you have two pieces of the tail lights. So that's changed. I think that's pretty cool. So again, you're going from no fog lights integrated into the headlights. The bumper's different. And then you've got the rear bumper. And then you've got the new taillight design as well. And then also, it'll spell Tesla across the back instead of just the Tesla logo. I really like that. I think it's more premium looking, really, as far as I'm concerned, just spelling out Tesla. So that's kind of the design of it. And then you kind of get into the interior. And the interior is going to have the ambient lighting around the car, so around the front, the sides, the front doors and the rear doors are going to get it. I think is great. I'm sure the footwells will get it as well. That's something that they haven't had. I know that some of the new cars, I haven't checked on the Model Y, but I know like the Model S and all that, they had plugs already behind the door panels. I'm assuming is going to be for ambient lighting. Maybe it's some future thing they're looking at doing. So this is really cool how they're integrating this now into the Model 3. Again, just another premium look. I haven't seen the car firsthand, laid my eyeballs on it, other than reading trade rags and videos and all that. But from what I'm reading, what I'm seeing is the materials are more premium in the car. Shut the doors, it's more solid. I know like here on my Model Y, you shut the door and it sounds like the glass is going to break. The front doors or the rear doors. So, I'll be curious to get in the Model 3 and see how much more premium the car is, the materials, than what I have in a 2023 Model Y. Let's see, what else? You get dual pane glass not only in the front, but now you've got it in the rear, so it's going to quieten things down. Of course, all the new materials, is going to help quieten the car down considerably. It'll be cool to do a decibel test on the outgoing model compared to what's coming up with the Highland. The rear seat gets that 8-inch touchscreen, so you can adjust your airflow, I'm assuming, to be able to watch movies and the other stuff like the Model S or X has. I'm sure all that's just now integrated in. One thing though I don't know, and I haven't heard, so I'm going to say no. I don't think the new Highland's going to have the hardware for. Maybe it will, but nobody has confirmed that just yet. So that'll be interesting to see. I say I don't think it will. It possibly will. Why would Tesla not why would they not do that? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Let's see what else. Again, all the interior should make this a more comfortable car, a more quieter car than what the Model 3 has been in the past. Again, I've only ridden in Model 3s. I've driven them. And I would say my 2023 Model Y is more quieter than the Model 3. Maybe like a 2022 Model 3 or something like that. I've noticed this is a little bit more quieter of a car, but man, I can't wait to see the new Highland, to see how much more quieter it is in the more premium materials. All right, trunk. Now, I do know that the trunk is going to go from 19.8 cubic feet to 21 cubic feet. So you're going to get a few more cubic feet of space in the trunk. The front doesn't change in size, but the rear trunk does. And I think that is awesome to be able to get, a little bit more room in the trunk to haul more things. I wish they would have made it a hatchback, I think a hatchback would have been a little better to get things in and out of a little easier. I love the Model S with the hatchback. Absolutely love it. I love my Model Y. I think it's great to have the hatchback as well. Just makes things a lot easier to put in and take out of the car. So that's the only kind of disappointment I've seen so far, that they should have made it a hatchback. All right. Driver controls. It's going to have the new steering wheel that basically mirrors what the Model S and X is now. Blinkers are on the wheel, and the drive selector is going to be on the screen itself. So you're going away from from stalks altogether, right? So your blinker stalk's gone, your drive select stalk is completely gone as well. I don't mind the drive select stalk. I mean, I think on the screen is fine. Hey, just let me press R W or something like that, and I'll be fine. So you can anyway, it doesn't matter, I guess. That's fine. The blinkers, I don't like the blinkers. I think blinkers on a steering wheel is just, to me, just dumb. I think leave that stock there. I know they're saving money. I get that's what all this is about. I get it. And also furthering getting closer to full self-driving. So none of those, they'll say in their minds, none of those stocks matter. But they also said that on the yoke, and look at now what they're doing. They're really changing up and going back to a wheel, because I just don't think people like the yoke. I think it's a failed experiment as far as I'm concerned. So the horn, though, is in the middle. So, it's right there in the middle, whereas the S and the X is not. It's a little button off to the right on the steering wheel by the controls. I think it's just dumb. I had this Model S, the new one, the refresh, with the yoke for a while, and that really made me hate the car, because if somebody pulled out in front of you, what you want to do is you want to slam and hit the horn, right? You don't get that. You got to find the button. I know they say you can just kind of put your hand over that area and it'll honk it. It didn't do it all the time. I think it's a flawed design. I think it's I don't like it in some of the Ferraris that they did that. I can't remember if the newer ones are like that or not, but some of the older Ferraris did that. I hated it. I just think it's really, to me, a safety issue. So I'm hoping the S and the X go back to having the horn in the center. Who knows? We'll find out. So anyway, so moving forward, I could talk about how crazy the yoke was and some of the controls on the steering wheel. So, of course, there's no change to the performance. So, just in case if you're wondering, I feel like that's okay. I mean, I think the Model 3 is plenty fast, especially if you want the performance version. But I think the long range is fast. I think all those, I mean, they're fine. They're quick. It should be fine. Now, the only sad news, excuse me, the only sad news is, the Model 3 Highland is only being launched in China and Europe today. Now, heck, this video can come out tomorrow. Tesla will have it on their website, and you can order it, and hopefully that's the case. So we in the U.S., we're just going to have to wait, unfortunately. So, it's kind of a bummer. I wish that, all the YouTubers were here in the U.S. looking at the car and all that and driving it. No, but they had to go overseas to get to it, to see it. So I don't know why they did it that way, but with them being an American company, anyway, I don't know. I wish they would have started in the U.S. So that comes to my question, the beginning of the video, right, is, should you wait on a new Model 3 Highland or not? This is kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to say. What I think I would do is I would wait myself, just because I got this new Model Y. My wife has a 22 Lexus RX 350, and she says you can't pry it off, out of her dead hands. But yet she's always in the Model 3. She's never in her car hardly at all. But she won't let me sell it, and it's just sitting in the garage. So I think I'm going to hold off and wait till the Model 3 comes out and I can look at it and review it firsthand, drive it, and report back to you, but also make a decision for me personally. Hey, does it make sense to get the Model 3 and keep the Model Y? My wife can drive the Model Y because she likes the stalks. She's not going to drive a car that doesn't have stalks. Like she's nervous about that. So I think for us in our household, we're going to wait. And I think, getting back to out of spec Dave, I think Dave's right. The optimal garage, for us electric car owners and enthusiasts, the best garage is a Model Y and a Model 3. And especially if that Model 3's got a 400-mile range. I mean, my gosh, you can drive for the day and not worry about charging, and go from there. So me personally, I'm going to answer the question and say, yes, I will wait for the car because I don't need to change anything up right now. I'm not going to get rid of this Model Y. Not anytime soon. Of course, I can say that tomorrow it's different, but I'm not getting rid of it. I think it's a perfect size vehicle. This is the 279-mile range coming out of Texas, so the new batteries, and I can drive this thing anywhere across the U.S. if I want to. The Model 3 with the longer range just means maybe one less charging stop along the way, and the efficiency will be greater. I think Kyle, Dave's son, in out of spec reviews, was saying it's 5 to 7 is what percent increase in efficiency is what Tesla's telling him. So should you? I mean, that's just your question. That's an answer for you. That's a personal preference. Should you wait? I say if you've got a Model 3 and you were looking at getting a new one, maybe yours is a few years old, I would say wait, because I think when it comes out and you see it in person, you're going to probably kick yourself. If it's something that you got to have one now, you can't wait, then get the Model 3. I mean, it's still a great car. I mean, no matter if it's the Highland or not, it's a great car. I mean, I think the Model 3, and I think it's the best car on the market for its size and what you need out of it. I think it's the best car, electric and or gas. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can go get a Honda Civic, a Toyota Corolla, a Honda Accord, a Toyota Camry. You can do whatever you want, but I think the Model 3, hands down, kills them between the technology, no gas, servicing is little to nothing in the car, other than tires and, maybe brake fluid every 3 years or whatever. So I'm personally going to wait. I think you have to make that decision. If you can wait, I would say wait. If you can't wait, don't worry about it. Go get the new Model 3. You get the $7,500 tax credit today. That could change next year. Who knows? So if you're trying to get the best bang out of your buck, buy it now and be done with it. So that's my take on the new Model 3 Highland. I'm waiting. You make that decision. Your answer is not it's not right or it's not wrong. It's just what you think you need right now. So please like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And until the next video, God bless.